That's cool. All right, hello. I'm Steve Stine, and I'm here with my buddy Rob Ash. And what we're going to be doing is just talking a little bit about playing and talk about his new guitar course called Slide Guitar Secrets. So, Rob, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. My name is Rob Ash. I'm from Fargo, North Dakota. I've been a guitar player for, since I was basically 9 years old, so creeping on 20 years, even though baby-faced, obviously. Yeah, man, I've come by guitar playing. I got my mom listened to a lot of classic rock, so I always had, Neil Young and Jimi Hendrix and Jim Croce and stuff like that growing up, and
Very cool.
Always stuck with it, and ended up going to school for music at Minnesota State University, and I've been playing in bands since pretty much I was in high school, and I've been around, man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I got to ask, what made you decide to get into slide playing? Because I know, we have similar backgrounds in some of the music that we listen to, but you really went well with this slide thing. You play amazing. And what made you decide that that's what you wanted to do was get into slide?
Well, one of the big things was I always grew up and I heard slide in classic rock and, bands like Skynyrd and, you hear it in Jimmy Page's playing and, just different songs and riffs, George Thorogood's Bad to the Bone riff. Like,
sure. You
can hear these great slides. It's like, wow, I don't understand how that happens. You just kind of see people doing it, but you don't really, at least when I was younger, I couldn't really understand what was going on.
Right.
The big catalyst, though, was I saw Derek Trucks play in person. I saw him open for Santana in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And as soon as that dude turned up the volume on his amp and you just hear that, like, he just has this, like, it sounds like a female voice, but at, a crazy amount of volume, and it just stuck with me. I was just
That's
like,
awesome.
Oh, wow, okay, I got to figure out how to do that. But it's like looking up at Everest when you see somebody who's, that accomplished at it, and in that kind of setting, in front of 18,000 people, and you're just like, whoa, okay. That's apparently a thing that people can do. So
yeah, right.
That was it, man.
So how did you start then? Once you started playing, let's first just talk a little bit about the course. Who is this course for?
Anybody really. If you've got a guitar, whether it's acoustic or electric, you can really get something out of this, because slide guitar is significantly different than just picking up a normal electric guitar, because there are certain factors that you really have to think about in order to make sound come out with an object like a slide.
Right.
Because if you just pick a guitar up off of a rack, chances are it's probably got light strings on it. You might be looking at nines, and the action is usually pretty low because they want them to play easy. If you go into a guitar store, they don't want it to be strung up super high.
Right,
because,
exactly.
If people are going in there, it could discourage them from buying that instrument if it's not set up.
That's right.
So it's really hard. So if somebody tries to take a slide on a brand spanking new guitar, they're going to hear a lot of rattling on the frets because there's just frankly not enough space on there. So one of the things you can do is you can help yourself out. You can give yourself a little bit of room so that you can still get a nice clean tone, and it gives you a little bit of mistake room, because it takes a little while to understand how much pressure to put on.
Sure.
What fingers you're putting the slide on, how do you hold it, like those kinds of things. That's one thing that I talk about on pretty much the first part of the whole lesson, is to understand okay, what are the mechanics involved in order for me to make this sound good?
Right.
Because if you just go and try and make melodies with it, it's going to be, it could sound cool, but the control factor, understanding what's going on, it makes things so much easier and it helps you progress faster when
Right.
you've got a solid foundation to build from.